Welcome back to the TV5 Morning News on this Thursday morning. Next week at this time, we'll be getting ready to go back to school, not to high school or any college classes. Well, sort of college classes. It's fiber college, and Astrid Tangway joins us again this year, and we're talking about it, and we've talked about it for a few years now, and this is one of those events that each year I'm amazed by how many things and how many different things that you guys talk about that's there for people to have. This
is our 6th year, and we're amazed too, because we've got the same 45 classes. When I say the same, meaning it's all about weaving and carving and knitting and spinning, but there's demonstrations and specific classes taking things like making pop-up puppets. And we've got a woman who's coming in and she's reviving the tatting that our grandmothers did, only now she's doing it with hand-spun yarn. So you can take a class with somebody to teach you how to spin the yarn, somebody else can teach you how to dye it, and then there's a third woman coming from New Jersey to teach you how to tat it.
When you started this 6 years ago, did you think it would get to this big and this many options and continue on for this long and grow this well?
Well, we dreamed about it. And
you wanted it to.
We wanted it to, and we've been organizing it with the idea that it had room to grow and we could do it. Then Mary Jane came in and started talking about artists in residence and how to bring in authors and people that are a little more high profile. So this year we were able to bring in 3 published authors and internationally known actually artists to teach these classes because they want to be on the coast of Maine in September.
And Mary Jane, and it kind of brings in something for everyone. I mean, no matter what your level is, your skill level, or your experience, there's something that probably anybody can take part in this.
Something for anybody. Even the public can come and just wander around. They can take classes if they'd like. We've got a ton of vendors. It's right on the water, 40 acres. It's gorgeous. Just hang out.
What type of things can they experience?
Well, when they come, there's going to be people signing books. Like Mary Jane just has this book coming out right now, and she's in all the magazines. They can sign up and do a class in wood carving from a master carver from Limestone, Maine, or they can take a demonstration that doesn't cost anything and learn about a woman who does bobbin lace making from Australia.
There's just so much. How do people get? There's so many options, but how do people get involved in it? I mean, there's got to be a way for people to come in. Can they just come in and kind of wander around like you said, or do they have to sign up to take classes? Can they decide what to take once they get there? What's the best way for people to attack this?
It depends on how wide their interests are. If they're very specifically interested in certain things, they should go to the website, look at the classes, and sign up in advance.
Okay.
If they think everything sounds marvelous, just come to the gate and walk around. There's going to be an exhibit of all of the instructors' work in one building. So you can actually visit that first, look to see the different teachers and the different styles they have, and then sign up for your classes then.
Excellent. Well, we'll hear more from you later on, and we'll have all the information on our website, WABI.tv. Welcome back to the TV5 Morning News on this Thursday morning. We talked last hour about the Fiber College and some things that people can do there. Now we're going to talk a little bit more with Astrid Tangway about the Fiber College. And we didn't really give it last time, but when is the Fiber College and where is it? Let's make sure we start there first.
Fiber College is going to be the 8th through the 11th, so just after Labor Day. It happens in Searsport on Route 1 at Searsport Shores Ocean Campground.
And we're talking, Mary Gray has joined us now, and we were just talking in the break about you're wearing a button on your necklace, you collect buttons, and many people do, and they can use them in a variety of different ways, can't they?
Absolutely. It's a great hobby, and you know hobbies are supposed to be mental refuges, you know that.
A little break.
Yes, yeah, big break, okay. And you can go anywhere. I mean, and you can spend any amount of money, you can find them any place.
For buttons.
For buttons. And depending on your interest, like if it's nature, you might collect a card of these are butterflies. Okay. There's one card here. Now this was done like back in the 70s, and this lady kind of started this thing using fiber, and she's from Maine. I forget her name, Matilda something. Anyway, she was the one that began this, and you can see here all the different where you might have an interest in animals or you just like design. You can find design, and they're all crocheted like on the back.
Really?
there's an interesting one up here from Maine, work clothes buttons. Okay, and you'll see that there'll be like Belfast, Camden, Portland, the different cities.
Where do you get some of these?
Well, if
I don't want to give away your secrets, but
well, yeah, but you can find buttons at yard sales. You can find them at
Fiber College.
Fiber College,
For instance.
for instance, yes. And what else do Maine people do a lot? The yard sales and the
so you can pick them up just about anywhere.
flea
then.
markets,
Yeah.
your auctions, and a lot of people have them already. They're in tins. They got them from their moms and their grandmothers. And the one thing I'd like to say this morning is, please take them out of those tins, because it's the worst thing you can do. These old buttons, many of them, plastics are very old, you know. Plastics came along in the late 1800s even. And they off-gas, and so they can destroy other buttons in there. And you have metal buttons in there that are really, really nice metals, like you could see on these cards, yeah.
And some of these can be pretty expensive too, right?
Yes, and like these are like 1800s.
Some people may have these laying around at home, right?
And you might have these in those tins, but they're in there, and if one button has rust on it, it's like a little virus that goes through. So you take them out of the tins, and almost every other lady in Maine that I talk to has one of these tins of buttons. Take them out, separate them out, and put them in a shoebox or something where they're getting air and they're not.
Mary's going to do an actual talk for an hour on Saturday about how to take care of the buttons that you might find in your button tins. She's also involved in a button club, and there's button clubs all over the country, but the Maine one is particularly strong.
And we'll see you there at Fiber College next weekend.
Yes.
And there's a Facebook page that people can visit. What about a website? So should they call you? What's the number they can reach?
Fibercollege.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Ravelry. And the phone number should be at the bottom of this little segment.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we'll have all this stuff again on our website at wabi.tv. Fiber College next weekend down in Searsport.